Hi there people, back again. Done quite a few videos now. I'm trying to scrape up a few more. I managed now. I did say in the past few videos that I had a job getting some models to work with. Well, like I said, I've done the Jeep, and I have managed to pick up a few more models. I went to the antiques collectors toy, well, not toys, it was just more antiques collectors fair really, and I managed to find some models down there. So anyway, I've got one of them here. So the next one we're going to do is this Jaguar Mk10. Not in bad condition, but it does need it needs doing really. The tyres are too small on it. It's got the little Diddy mini tyres on it, so boot opens up on it, bonnet opens. It's a nice little model really. But anyway, that's our next project for today. I'll try and make this a bit shorter, this video, because they are dragging on a bit. It's all my yapping. But anyway, that's enough yakking. Let's get cracking. So I'm going to start by drilling these, like we always do with these models. I'm going to start by drilling these two little rivets out here. There's only two of them, that. And the back of it clips in. So let's get on with that. Right, so I ain't going to put this in the voice. As you know, I don't get on with these voices. Not even the new one. I'd rather do it like this. Like you do. First go down through the middle bit like that. As per all the videos. So you've got the rows showing like that, and as you know, I get my bigger drill, and we just get the top of the rivet off of that one, just like that, quite easy. Making sure not to go through the base plate, otherwise you won't get another rivet onto the back again. As you see, that's come away nice and easy, like. Simple as that. Take everything out. That'll all come out in one go. And then you've got a spring. This is a similar spring like we had in the old Corgi console, what it did back along. And it looks as though, I mean, I did make a mistake on that Corgi console video. Somebody did put in the comments about it. I put the actual, when I put it back together, I put this here axle underneath that spring. Although it still went back together alright, it didn't really make a lot of difference. You're meant to put it on top of the spring, and somebody did point out in the comments. So, I'm sorry about that everybody, but, you know, these things happen. Because the person in the comments said, it acts as a suspension, that, as you can see when it's together. That's the idea of it. So I'll remember with this one to make sure I put it on top. But when I did take the other one apart, the console, all this fell apart, everything fell apart, and I couldn't remember how it went back in. And I thought it went underneath because I had such a tough time getting it in there. But we know now. So to get this out, we just put it out like that. Don't lose that piece, whatever you do. Then, this here should just come off, quite simply like that. So that's all now ready. The headlights have been took out of this. I took them out earlier on. So what I did was use a bit of WD-40 squirted in there and use a little pin just to wedge them out. So they're all out now. So I don't have to worry about, damaging them in the stripping process or losing them or anything like that. So I'm just going to drill these two holes down, and then next time you see this, I'm not going to bother showing you the caustic soda treatment. I'm trying to make this a shorter video than usual. I'm going to come back and show you this when it's all been, stripped off, paint's gone, and it's all been wire brushed and it's nice and shiny, ready for spraying. And then we'll deal with all the other bits. So let's get on and do that. Right, so I've done the shell. It's all nicely cleaned up, as you can see. All nicely removed the paint. It is absolutely coming down outside. I've done the odd bits as well, the boot and the bonnet, and I've managed to actually spray, before this lot come down, the bottom, the base plate. So not far to go now. Like I said, this is only going to be a little short video because it's quite an easy model to do, really. So when all this is dried, I've got to spray of course the body. So what I'm meant to go for with this, I'm not doing it the same colour. I'm doing it the green, metallic green, and I think this is the same green that I used for the UFO interceptor. Ford metallic green jade. But there is, I've looked on the old interweb, and there is a colour of that car that comes in that colour, so I'm going to do that colour. So I'm going to get that sprayed up. Well, not today. So the next scene, I'll have to get it done when I can and come back to you with the finished model sprayed up. So till then, see you in a sec. Okay, as you can see, it's all been sprayed up now. Done all the pieces, all nicely covered over. There's a nice silver on there. That next part, I'm going to put these headlights back in. But before I put them in, one of them in the little part, or in the bonnet, the whole thing came out when I've done it. As you can see, the whole thing came out in the holder. So that's going to look a bit odd, because you're going to have the little grey bit showing around the edges. It's not going to be green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put a little bit of Molotov around the edge of that. Well, not that one I don't have to, but this here I will. Just to get like a silver rim around each light, and around there as well. But before I actually stick the tip for these, to stick them back in, you want a drill bit. This here is a 3.2 drill, and just by hand, just go like that in the actual holder. Not too much, because it's very light metal in there, just to get the paint off what you've sprayed. That's all it's for. You see that there on the end of there? Look, that's just a bit of paint coming off there. Look. All you're doing is getting a nice little surface when you put your glue in, your super glue, to give the light something to stick to, because otherwise, you know, you're just trying to make it stick to the paint. So I always give it a little bit of a twirl, very lightly, like that. Like that, just to get the old, just give it a bit of grip, you know. So I'm going to paint this here a minute with my pen. I've got my Molotov pen. Hopefully, I usually do this with a brush, but hopefully I might get away with it with a pen. So I'm going to try and just catch the edges of this. I mean, I ain't going to show a lot up on this because I've grown most of this bit away. It's just to cover any bits that's left of the actual headlight holder. You might think it's a waste of time, but there isn't a lot of it left there actually, so I don't think that one's going to matter so much. I can never use the pen with these Molotovs. It never works out very good. I always use the brush on it. Yeah, that's what you could do, is just get it on that little ridge. You don't want it to go on the actual bodywork, if you know what I mean. Just on there. See? So you just got a little bit showing there. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference actually, folks, this one, because a lot of the actual headlight piece that I had there is not really going to show very much. This one here is going to be the worst one, I think, because the actual piece came out, so I'm going to have to try and get the other one looking similar. But you've got to be so careful not to get it on the actual bodywork. So you only want it in there, really. There, so you just got a little bit of silver showing there. That. The trouble is, I'm going to have to try and do this, the edge of this one now, and that's going to be damn awkward with my big fingers. So try and hold it in this thing, and just go around the edges of it slightly. Now that's the trouble now, I'm holding it as tight as I can and it's still tilting. I'm getting worried about this now, because if this flies out of here I've lost it, because I'll never find it in this shed. I'm going to leave it as that. I'm just going to put them all in and see how it looks. It should look alright. It ain't going to be that bad, so we'll leave it at that. I've got to go over this, all this anyway with the Molotov to do the engine, so I'm going to get all that done and then come back. Okay then, as if by magic, I've detailed the engine with the Molotov. I've stuck the headlights in, just super glue, and I've done that piece as well. The bonnet's done. So all we got to do now is put it together. So first of all, we just drop our bonnet on top of there, and we've got to get that spring. Mustn't forget that one. And hopefully I shouldn't get any comments about doing this wrong this time, because the last time I did it all the wrong way round on that console. Now this is the bit now, is getting this bloody thing to go in here, because you've got to get that bottom piece in, and you've got to push that top piece into that bit up there. There he is. It's very windy, folks. There, that's how it goes in. So we've done that. There's the glass, that's come out nice after the old pledge treatment. Drop that in there. Interior is in very good condition. We can put that back. The boot, slight angle like that, and just drop it into the little runners. Well, saying that, there, like that. It's quite simple. And then, as I said, that wheel goes to the outside of that. So we've got to pull it back, slot the back in. This is the awkward bit by the looks of it. That's it, get the bonnet right. Slot the back in. And then we get our rivets in there, and that'll load it. Easier said than done. Famous last words, he says. And it is easier said than done, right. Oh, stay there. It wants to come out again. That spring is being a pain, folks. But that's where it goes. Right. Now, we need to glue, quick. Get our rivet in there. Like so. Hold that. I don't think this paint I use for the base plate is very good paint, folks, because it's had 24 hours to dry and it's still leaving marks. I won't be using that again. I think I should stick to my normal silver next time. Give it a good chance to set. Oh, there's a few little bits I need to touch up. See what I mean with the fingerprints on this paint? It's not very good paint. It's going to take quite a long time to iron up this paint, I think. But for now, it's going to have to do. It was a silver bottom on this one. I've ruined the side there, that. But I can do that again. So it's just a few little bits to touch up on this one, folks. I've got the back bumper to do. And then we'll take a final look and see how it's come out. Well, as you can see, this is what we started with. Different colour, but the actual model wasn't in too bad condition really. It's just a bit scruffy looking. Just needed a coat of paint at the end of the day really. Not a lot to do to it. The headlights were missing there, as you can see, but I took them out myself, so I had the headlights. The headlights did come with it. So anyway, after you know, our interference and taking it apart and all that business, this is how she looks now. Totally refurbished, brand new paint job, bigger tyres, of course. It is Jag after all. And then, well, the paint job, I think it looks better that colour actually. I'd rather have that than the blue. So that's another one rescued. So until the next time, hope you enjoyed this video. A bit shorter than normal, but until the next time, bye bye from me.